You stood close enough that I could feel your doubt, changing the temperature between us, not distance. Hesitation, that fragile space where everything is still possible and nothing is promised. Your hand hovered like it forgot what it came here to do. Fingers slightly open, unsure if my skin would say yes or disappear. The room was quiet in that deep way, the kind that listens back. Lamplight trembling against the wall, shadows stretching slowly as if they were waiting to. I didn't move, I didn't invite. I let the moment breathe on its own. Let your uncertainty be the loudest thing. When your hand hesitated, time leaned forward. Every second felt deliberate, heavy like it knew it would be remembered. I could hear my pulse behind my ear, steady but exposed. I wondered if you heard it too, or if you were too busy arguing with yourself. Your eyes searched my face for permission I never said aloud. I gave it the only way I knew how, by staying exactly where I was. That pause held more than most touches ever do. It held intention, fear, wanting without taking. When your hand finally moved, it was barely anything, a ghost of contact, knuckles brushing my sleeve, just enough to prove we were both real. I felt it spread through me slowly, like warmth returning to a place that had been cold too long. You inhaled sharply, as if surprised by your own courage. We didn't rush after that, we learned the shape of restraint. Your hand rested there, not claiming, not retreating. I noticed how carefully you touched the edges of me, as if the center might be too much all at once. I wanted to tell you it was safe, but I liked watching you discover it. The night softened around us, lowered its voice. Even the walls seemed to turn away, granting us privacy we hadn't earned yet. When your hand hesitated again, I understood this wasn't uncertainty anymore. This was reverence. You weren't afraid to touch me, you were afraid of how deeply it might stay. I let my breath change, slow and intentional, a quiet signal in the dark. Your fingers responded, sliding just enough to close the question. Nothing dramatic followed, no urgency, no collection to each other, just the steady knowing that something had begun. The moment you lights were low enough to forgive everything. Edges softened, corners disappeared. Even time seemed less certain under that gentle glow. You look different then, not because of shadow, but because softness reveals what clarity hides. Your face calm, your eyes somewhere far inside, as if you were visiting yourself while sitting right in front of me. Soft lights, unfamiliar heart, there was the balance. Comfort without history, closeness without memory. I noticed how carefully you occupied your own body. The way you sat as if you were still learning what parts of yourself were safe to let rest. We spoke slowly, each sentence landing gently, like neither of us wanted to disturb whatever was forming. Your voice lowered without trying, mine followed instinctively. There's something disarming about warmth with no context, no past to lean on, no future demanding shape, just presence, quiet and unclaimed. Soft lights blur the room into something almost cinematic. I wondered if you felt it too, that strange intimacy that appears before familiarity, before names and patterns. Your heart felt unfamiliar, not closed, just unread. A book open to a page written in a language I hadn't learned yet. When you leaned closer, it wasn't decisive, more like gravity testing its influence. I stayed still, not wanting to rush the discovery of who you were becoming in this moment. Your hand rested near mine again, that almost touch again, that quiet electricity. I felt it more than contact, felt it in the way my breathing changed and how my shoulders softened. Soft lights, unfamiliar heart, I realized I like not knowing, like the absence of expectation. The way curiosity felt cleaner than assumption. You smiled suddenly, small and unguarded, as if something inside you had just relaxed its grip. I felt something answer inside me, subtle but certain. The night held us gently, didn't ask for proof, didn't push for clarity. It let the moment exist without direction. If this never became more, it would still matter. That's the truth I didn't say, that being this close to someone unknown can be its own kind of intimacy. When we finally stood, the lights seemed brighter, almost intrusive. You hesitated, then met my eyes again, as if checking whether this was real. Soft lights, unfamiliar heart, I carried the feeling with me long after the room went dark. That quiet warmth of not knowing and choosing to stay present anyway. Some connections don't arrive fully formed, they begin as atmosphere, as light as a heart you haven't learned yet, and don't wanna rush. I didn't know yet heavy wanting could become, that came later, with memory, with consequence, with the slow education of loss. That night, wanting was still clean, still untouched. It hadn't learned how to bruise. You sat close, close enough to feel familiar without earning it. Your presence felt simple and not easy, just unburdened. The innocence of wanting lived in the way we didn't plan, didn't calculate, didn't protect ourselves from what might happen next. I wanted you without narrative, without outcome, just the quiet pull of noticing the feeling something leaned toward me and not stepping away. Your eyes held mine longer than politeness requires, not challenging, curious as if you were discovering a new sensation in real time. The innocence of wanting meant there was no strategy, no timing, no question of who would care more. Just a soft internal yes that hadn't learned how to doubt. We spoke slowly, not because we were careful, but because we were present. Each word landed gently, unrushed, like nothing was chasing us. I remember how natural it felt to imagine you closer, not touching, just near, as if proximity alone could answer something unnamed. Your hand moved when you laughed, a small unthinking gesture. I followed it with my eyes before realizing I had you noticed. You didn't hide it. The innocence of wanting isn't loud, it doesn't demand, it doesn't beg to be fulfilled. It just exists, warm and open, trusting the moment not to betray it. When our knees brush, neither of us reacted. No apology, no emphasis, the contact stayed because it didn't yet know how to mean too much. The night felt wide then, unassigned, like it could hold anything without collapsing under it. Even desire still learning its own way. I wanted you without fear of aftermath, without imagining absence, without the knowledge that some feelings change once they're answered. Later, wanting would become complicated. It would learn to hesitate, to measure, to protect itself. But that night, it was still innocent, still untrained, still pure in its curiosity. And sometimes when the world feels heavy with knowing, I return to that version of myself, the one who wanted without armor, without expectation, just a quiet openness in the dark, trusting that wanting alone could be enough. There was a night before the wait arrived, before choices learned consequences, before we started editing ourselves for safety. That's where this leads. When everything was still possible, we sat in the middle of uncertainty, and it felt wide, not empty, open, like the future hadn't decided how close it would stand. You smiled without meaning anything by it. I returned it the same way, no subtext yet, no memory attached, just two expressions existing without defense. When everything was still possible, we didn't measure moments, we let them happen. Laughter came easily, left quietly. Nothing lingered long enough to demand explanation. I remember thinking how light your presence felt, not shallow, unburdened, as if you hadn't been asked yet to become important. The night hadn't chosen a mood, music low and distant, lights forgiven, time cooperative, even silence felt generous. When everything was still possible, desire hadn't picked a direction. It wandered, curious but undecided. It didn't need to arrive anywhere. Your knee brushed mine and it meant nothing, which is to say it meant everything later. At the time it was just proximity. I watched you talk, hands moving freely, unaware of how closely I was paying attention. I like that about you, that you weren't performing yet. We didn't imagine aftermath, didn't ask who would stay, didn't wonder how it might end. Endings weren't part of the vocabulary. When everything was still possible, even leaving felt gentle. A goodbye that didn't ache, a promise not yet invented. I carried that night with me, not because it was intense, but because it was unclaimed, because it belonged to no storyline but itself. Later possibility would narrow, moments would harden into decisions, care would learn fear. But that night remains untouched, preserved in its openness, a reminder of how it feels before things ask for commitment. When everything was still possible, we didn't know what we were starting, and that ignorance was its own kind of grace. Sometimes in the quiet after everything else, I return there, not to change the outcome, but to remember how light it felt to not yet know. You spoke carefully then, as if your words were new shoes you weren't sure fit yet. Every sentence arrived soft, untested, but sincere. Your voice hadn't learned me, it didn't know where to lower itself, where to linger, where to stop. because of that, not for meaning, for texture, for the way your tone shifted when you forgot to guard it. Your voice, untested, moved through the room without expectation. It wasn't trying to impress, it wasn't trying to stay, it was simply there. You told a small story, something forgettable, and somehow I held on to it. Not the details, the way your voice warmed halfway through, like you'd relaxed into yourself. The night seemed to lean closer, even silence gave you room. I wondered who you were and no one was listening yet, when nothing had been asked of you. Your voice, untested, didn't carry promises, it didn't hint at futures. It stayed present, unshaped by consequence. I noticed how you paused before certain words, as if checking whether they were safe to release. I stayed still, so you wouldn't have to hurry. When you laughed, it surprised both of us. The sound slipped out before you could soften it. I like that version best, the one not yet edited. We were close enough for your voice to reach me without effort. It settled somewhere behind my ribs. Quietly, your voice, untested, felt intimate without trying to be. It hadn't learned performance yet, it hadn't learned distance. I realized then how sound can be a form of touch, how tone can reach places hands haven't found. You lowered your voice slightly, not intentionally, instinctively. I felt the shift immediately, like something had been offered without being named. Nothing followed, no declaration, no escalation, just the awareness that something had begun at the level of sound. Later, your voice would change, familiarity would shape it, conflict teach it new rhythms, care would add weight. But that night, it was still untested, still free of history, still discovering its effect. And I carry that version with me. The first time your voice found me, before you knew it could. The room was barely breathing, curtains holding their own secrets, streetlight leaking in like it didn't mean to stay. You stood there uncertain, as if the air itself might change its mind if you move too fast. We didn't rush into each other, we circled like two thoughts afraid of becoming real. Your shadow touched mine before our bodies ever did, and even that felt like crossing something sacred. The night didn't know us yet, it hadn't learned our names, hadn't memorized the way silence was was already choosing sides. I remember the pause between your words, how every sentence arrived unfinished, how I filled the gaps with my pulse. Your eyes kept leaving and returning like they weren't sure if I was allowed to exist. I wanted to say something soft, something that wouldn't scare the moment away, but my mouth stayed closed and my chest spoke instead. The first touch wasn't confident, it was careful, like you were testing the temperature of my skin to see if it would let you in. When it did, you exhaled, and I felt it everywhere. We were still strangers, but not in the way we'd been before. Something had tilted, something had agreed to stay. The night listened, leaned closer, dimmed itself around us. Time slowed down out of respect. Your fingers traced questions along my arm, and I answer without speaking. Every breath we shared felt borrowed, like we'd have to give it back later. The night didn't know us yet, but it was learning fast, learning how your heartbeat shifted when I moved closer, learning how mine forgot its old rhythm. I could feel the moment stretching, refusing to become memory. We stayed inside longer than necessary, longer than safe. Your forehead against mine, no promise spoken, no future assumed, just this fragile present glowing quietly between us. If we had stopped right there, it still would have been enough. That's what scared me, that's what made it feel real. Outside, the city kept pretending. Inside, everything changed without announcing itself. The night didn't know us yet, but it would never forget how we began. We weren't speaking anymore, not because there was nothing to say, but because words felt too sharp for what was happening between us. Your breath slowed first, mine followed, like it trusted you to set the pace. The space between our faces held something fragile, something listening. The quiet between our breaths was louder than anything we'd said all night. I could feel the moment stretching, thin as glass, strong enough to hold us if neither of us moved wrong. Your lips parted slightly, not asking, not offering, just existing. I noticed details I'd never remember later. The way your chest rose unevenly, the warmth where your knee brushed mine, how the room or surrender decides whether to arrive or retreat. The quiet between our breaths was where desire learned patience and wanting didn't rush to become taken. I leaned in slowly, not to close the distance, but to honor it. My forehead hovered near yours, close enough to blur the edges of everything else. You inhaled deep and careful, as if you were afraid the sound might break something. I exhaled into the space you left, and for a moment we shared the same air. I felt intent in a way touch hadn't reached yet. Time stopped behaving normally. Seconds lost their shape. All that mattered was the rhythm we were building without agreeing to it. The quiet between our breaths taught me a tempo, taught me when to stay still, taught me when closeness was already enough. Your hand rested near mine, not touching, but close enough to feel the heat that almost contact carried more weight than certainty ever does. I wondered how many people rush past this moment, how many never learned to listen here. This place where bodies confess before mouths do. When our lips finally met, it was soft, unambitious, like we were afraid of losing the silence we built. A kiss that didn't ask for more, didn't promise anything beyond itself. We pulled back slowly, still connected by breath, still suspended in that fragile calm. Nothing collapsed, nothing escalated, and somehow that made it unforgettable. The quiet between our breaths stayed with me after, in the dark, in the space you left behind, in the way my body remembered how to slow down. Some moments don't need sound to echo forever. Some nights are defined by what almost happens, and the silence brave enough to hold it. It didn't start with touch, it started earlier than that. In the way the room shifted when you sat down, and how my attention, the guy doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it clears its throat and waits to be noticed. You were talking about something ordinary, a detail I won't remember now, but your voice slowed halfway through, as if another meaning had entered the sentence without asking. That was where desire first spoke, not loudly, not clearly, just enough to rearrange the air. I felt it behind my ribs, a quiet pressure, not hunger, recognition, like my body had heard a language my mind hadn't learned yet. Your eyes lingered longer than necessary, not staring, listening, as if you were checking whether I felt it too. The space between us started to feel intentional, measured, charged with something unfinished. Every movement suddenly mattered. How I shifted my weight, how you leaned back, how neither of us crossed the line. Where desire first spoke, it didn't ask to be answered. It just existed, patient, confident in its timing. I noticed my breathing change, you noticed it too. That's how I knew this wasn't imagined. That subtle alignment that doesn't happen by accident. You stopped talking, not abruptly, naturally, like the moment had taken over and language had stepped aside. Silence arrived and felt heavier than words. I could see it in your jaw, the way you held yourself still, as if motion might reveal too much. I matched you. Stillness, answering stillness. Where desire first spoke, it spoke through restraint, through the choice to nourish forward, to let anticipation build its own shape. Your hand rested on your leg, fingers relaxed but alert. Mine mirrored the posture, quiet conversation without sound. The night leaned in closer, lights dimmed themselves further. Even time seemed to slow, as if it understood something delicate was forming. When you finally moved, it was only a breath closer, enough to change everything, enough to make the moment irreversible, without making it obvious. That was the first sentence, the beginning of wanting, before touch learned its grammar, before intention became action. Where desire first spoke, it spoke in pauses and glances held just a second longer, in the shared understanding that something had begun without permission. Nothing happened right away, and that was the point. Some beginnings don't rush, they mark you quietly and wait. Long after the night ended, I could still hear it, the first subtle voice, slow and certain, teaching my body how to listen. I didn't know yet how heavy wanting could become. That came later, with memory, with consequence, with the slow education of loss. That night, wanting was still clean, still untouched. It hadn't learned her to bruise. You sat close, close enough to feel familiar, without earning it. Your presence felt simple then, not easy, just unburdened. The innocence of wanting lived in the way we didn't plan, didn't calculate, didn't protect ourselves from what might happen next. I wanted you without narrative, without outcome, just the quiet pull of noticing a feeling, something leaned toward me and not stepping away. Your eyes held mine longer than politeness requires, not challenging, curious, as if you were discovering a new sensation. In real time, the innocence of wanting meant there was no strategy, no timing, no question of who would care more, just a soft internal yes that hadn't learned how to doubt. We spoke slowly, not because we were careful, but because we were present. Each word landed gently on touching just near, as if proximity alone could answer something unnamed. Your hand moved when you laughed, a small unthinking gesture. I followed it with my eyes before realizing I had you noticed. You didn't hide it. The innocence of wanting isn't loud, it doesn't demand, it doesn't beg to be fulfilled. It just exists, warm and open, trusting the moment not to betray it. When our knees brushed, neither of us reacted. No apology, no emphasis. The contact stayed because it didn't yet know how to mean too much. The night felt wide, then unassigned, like it could hold anything without collapsing under it. Even desire still learning its own weight. I wanted you without fear of aftermath, without imagining absence, without the knowledge that some feelings change once they're answered. Later, wanting would become complicated. It would learn to hesitate, to measure, to protect itself. But that night, it was still innocent, still untrained, still pure in its curiosity. And sometimes when the world feels heavy with knowing, I return to that version of myself, the one who wanted without armor, without expectation, just a quiet openness in the dark, trusting that wanting alone could be enough. It wasn't the beginning, and it wasn't the end. It was that fragile place right before something decides to become permanent. We stood there quietly, close enough to feel the weight of it, not touching, because touch would have tipped the balance. 'Cause the moments need to remain untouched to be understood. The moment before forever has a certain stillness, not calm, aware, like the air knows it's about to be remembered. Your face softened in that way people do when they stop pretending they're undecided. I saw the future as it behind your eyes, waiting to be invited. I felt it too, that subtle tightening in the chest, not fear, not excitement, but recognition. The sense that once you step forward, you don't come back the same. We had said enough already. Every conversation before this had been rehearsal. Every silence a quiet agreement forming. The moment before forever doesn't rush you. It gives you time to reconsider, to step away with dignity intact. You didn't. Your breath slowed deliberately, as if preparing for something sacred. I mirrored you, not out of habit, but out of trust. We were balanced on choice, one movement away from history, one still second away from remaining only memory. The room felt smaller suddenly, as if the walls leaned inward. Curious light dimmed itself further. speaks louder when it isn't questioned. Your hand lifted slightly, then paused. Even now, you honored the gravity of it. That pause said more than confidence ever could. In that space, I understood what we were risking, what we were offering, not safety, presence. The moment before forever is brief. It doesn't stay long. It either dissolves or becomes everything. When we finally moved, it wasn't dramatic. No rush, no collapse into each other. Just a quiet crossing from what could be into what would never be undone. Even now, long after everything changed, I can still feel it. That suspended second where the future held its breath and waited for us to choose. Some moments don't shout, they whisper and change you anyway. The room is quiet, but your breath is loud. Shadows dancing on the wall right now. Your fingers tracing thoughts I never say. It's getting harder just to look away. Hey. The night is slow, like it knows our names. Every second pulling me closer to the flame. I don't ask questions, I just let it slide. I'm already lost the moment you're inside. We don't need words tonight. Silence says it all. Your body's speaking for you, and I don't wanna fight it at all. It feels like the first time, every time you touch me like that. Like the world outside doesn't exist, just skin, just breath, just that. It feels like the first time, even though I know it's not. Your love hits me slow and deep, like something I forgot. Your lips move closer, but you hesitate, like you're scared of what we might create. I feel your heartbeat losing control, matching mine, losing its role. The lights are low, the time stands still. I don't care if this is wrong or real. I just know when you're this close, I forget who I'm supposed to be the most. We're standing on the edge of something we won't name. If this is only for tonight, I'll still let it burn the same. It feels like the first time, every time you pull me in. Like I've never been this close, like I've never let anyone in. It feels like the first time your hands tell me the truth. I don't need forever right now, I just need this moment with you. Slow down, don't rush the night, let the silence do it right. Every touch is a confession, every breath is an obsession. If this ends when the sun comes up, I'll still remember how it felt, the way you made me forget myself. It feels like the first time when your body's next to mine, like we're alive. Velvet curtains barely breathe, midnight resting on their edges. City lights blur into something softer, like the world agreed to forget us. You're lying there, half turned toward the quiet, half closed eyes holding questions you never say out loud. The room is dim in a tender way, shadows pulling along your collarbone. Every silence feels intentional, like it's waiting to be touched. I move closer, not fast, not certain, just slow enough to feel the air change. Velvet curtains, half-closed eyes, the night folding around us in layers of dark blue. Your fingers trace invisible lines across the space between our breaths, and I swear the distance trembles like it knows it won't survive. You don't speak, but your mouth softens like a door left slightly open in a house built of quiet longing. I've memorized this kind of stillness, the way it hums under the skin, the way it turns hesitation into something warm and dangerous. Velvet curtains, half-closed eyes, every heartbeat slower than it was a minute ago. The air tastes like possibility, like rain that never quite falls. It's like a secret pressed against the back of my throat. Your shoulder brushes mine, accidental maybe, but the spark lingers, refusing to fade. We don't rush the moment, we let it stretch, thin as silk, strong as gravity. Outside the world keeps moving, but in here time is kneeling, waiting for permission. Your half-closed eyes, not sleeping, not dreaming, just watching me decide. My hand rests near yours, close enough to promise, far enough to ache in that quiet, unbearable way. Velvet curtains hold the dark like they're protecting something fragile, something beginning without knowing its own name. You lean closer, breath warm and careful, as if desire were glass and we're afraid to break it. There's a tenderness in restraint, a fire in almost a universe inside what we don't do yet. Velvet curtains, half-closed eyes, the night listening as our pulse align. Your forehead against mine, not claiming heart starts not with fire, but with warmth spreading quietly under skin. Velvet curtains barely moving, half closed eyes learning mine. The dark wrapping around us like it's always known our shape. We don't need the world tonight, we don't need promises. Only this soft collision of breath and almost touch. Stay like this, where silence speaks, where closeness feels sacred, where fantasy finally has a pulse. And the curtains keep guarding the dark while our shadows begin to move as one. The lights have been on for a while, but the room isn't empty. It's breathing low and steady. Curtains barely shifting, with the night air carrying distant echoes of a world we left outside. You're somewhere near, I can feel it, not by sight, but by the way the silence tightens. There's a space between us, small, intentional, alive. Fingertips in the dark, searching without looking, learning without speaking, finding without force. I move my hands slowly through the quiet, through the invisible current that hums between skin. Your breath changes first, a subtle shift like a door opening inside your chest. I don't rush, I let the distance narrow, millimeter by millimeter, until the air feels electric. Fingertips in the dark, almost touching, almost trembling, almost enough. Your hand rises, mirroring mine, unseen but understood. And when our fingers finally meet, it isn't dramatic, it's soft, a feather-like contact that carries weight deeper than gravity. You trace the outline of my knuckles, slow, curious, as if memorizing a language. The dark hides our expressions, but not our reactions. Every small movement echoes through me like a quiet confession. Fingertips in the dark, mapping fragile territory, turning hesitation into warmth. I slide my thumb across your palm, careful, listening to your breath. You exhale slowly and lean closer. Not enough to close the space, just enough to blur it. The room feels smaller now, thicker, wrapped in a velvet hush. Fingertips in the dark are braver than we are. They speak first, they stay. Fingers drift up my wrist, posing at the pulse, and I feel seen without being watched. There's something sacred about this kind of closeness. No urgency, no spectacle, just skin meeting skin in quiet discovery. You shift beside me, fabric brushing softly, a whisper of movement. I follow the curve of your hand up your arm, slow measured, like tracing a constellation only we can feel. Fingertips in the dark, learning the rhythm of breath against breath, of warmth against warmth. The world outside fades into distant static, unimportant, unfelt. Your forehead head finds my shoulder, and the contact is simple but absolute. I rest my hand at your waist, not claiming, just holding. The dark wraps around us like it's protecting something tender. Fingertips in the dark don't need light, they trust, they know. You tilt your face toward mine, close enough that our breaths mingle. There's a pause, a suspended second, where everything could change, but we stay in the slowness. We honor the restraint. Your fingers weave gently through mine, and the touch deepens without pressure. The quiet grows warmer, thicker, fill it with unspoken longing. Fingertips in the dark become anchors, keeping us here in this fragile moment. I brush a strand of hair from your face, even though I can barely see it. I know where it falls. You smile softly, I feel it before I hear it. Our bodies align gradually, like two shadows merging. No rush, no sudden fire, only this steady heat building beneath the surface. Fingertips in the dark are enough to spark, enough to steady, enough to stay. And as the night stretches on, we remain there, a death intertwined, hands still connected, letting the dark hold us, letting our fingertips say everything we don't need to speak. The door closes softly, not with finality, but with intention. And suddenly, everything outside feels fictional. Streetlights fade, voices disappear, even time seems unsure of its own direction. You're standing near the edge of the bed, one hand resting against the wall, like you need something solid before you let go. The air is dim, thick with quiet, wrapped in the kind of darkness that feels protective. When the room forgets the world, it remembers us. The way you look at me, as if the night has carved a softer version of my name into your mouth. You step closer, slow, uncertain in the most beautiful way. Your shoulder brushes mine, and the contact feels louder than any sound outside. When the room forgets the world, we don't have to pretend, we don't have to explain, we just breathe. I reach for your hand, not to pull, just to hold. Your fingers curl around mine, warm, certain. And something inside me begins to quiet. your face up, would eyes half closed, searching, and I meet you there, not with hunger, but with warmth. When the room forgets the world, desire doesn't rush, it settles like moonlight on bare skin, soft, unavoidable. Your fingers trace the line of my collarbone, leaving invisible paths that burn gently. I respond by brushing my lips against your temple. You exhale slowly, as if releasing something you've been holding all day. The bed behind us feels like an invitation, not to fall, but to stay. We move together, unfolding into the quiet. Fabric rustles softly as we sit, knees brushing. When the room forgets the world, even silence feels full. You lie back slowly, eyes watching me, not demanding, just open. I follow, hovering above you, close enough to feel your warmth. Our breaths mingle, creating a rhythm that feels older than language. Your hands rest at the back of my neck, holding gently, and I lower myself until our foreheads meet again. When the room forgets the world, there is no audience, no performance, only skin, only breath, only closeness. I trace the curve of your side, slow arcs measured. You respond by pulling me near until there's no space left. The dark holds us like a secret. Outside, the world continues, but it no longer reaches us, because here in this dim, quiet sanctuary, we are unguarded, we are slower, we are real. When the room forgets the world, we remember how to feel. And in the soft forgetting, wrapped in shared warmth, listening to each other breathe, we become everything that the outside could never understand. The room is dim enough to make everything honest. No bright edges, no sharp corners, just a quiet glow of something waiting. You're leaning against the window, curtains parted just slightly, night air slipping in, cool against warm skin. I can't see your thoughts, but I feel them hovering between your ribs, breathing in your unspoken, like it's perfume in the dark, invisible but undeniable. You don't look at me right away, you let the silence stretch, let it pulse, let it thicken. I move closer, slow steps, careful not to disturb the fragile tension. Your chest rises, falls, a rhythm almost synced with mine, breathing in your unspoken, the things you don't dare say, the ones you cradle quietly behind half-closed eyes. I stand beside you, close enough to feel the warmth radiating from your arm. Our shoulders brush barely, but the turn my face towards you, and the space between us narrows. Breathing in your unspoken feels like leaning over an edge. Not to fall, but to see how far it goes. Your hand rests on the window frame, fingers tense, then relaxing. I let my fingertips trace the inside of your wrist. Slow, curious, you don't pull away. Instead, you step closer, until the cool night air is replaced by shared warmth. Breathing in your unspoken, I taste hesitation, sweet and heavy on your breath. Your eyes meet mine, and in them there's a quiet storm. Not chaos, just depth. I lift my hand, brushing a strand of hair away from your face. My knuckles graze your cheek, and your lips part slightly. You don't speak, but your body answers. Breathing in your unspoken is like reading a letter written in pulse, in heat and subtle tremors. You press your forehead against mine, slow, deliberate. The window fogs faintly behind you, as if the night itself is leaning closer. Your hands slide up my sides, measured, unhurried. I respond by pulling you nearer, not forcefully, just enough, enough to erase doubt. Breathing in your unspoken feels like surrender. Without losing control, you exhale against my neck, soft, warm, and I feel it everywhere. The world outside fades into distant headlights, passing without meaning. And here, everything is amplified. Your fingers move slowly, tracing my back, leaving quiet sparks in their wake. I let my lips brush the corner of your jaw, lingering, learning. You tilt your head, inviting, trusting. Breathing in your unspoken, I understand you without translation. The way your grip tightens, the way your breath deepens, the way your heartbeat begins to race. We don't rush, we let the tension build like a tide, rising quietly. Your body fits against mine, as if it's always known the shape. The air between us disappears, replaced by warmth. Breathing in your unspoken, I feel your desire, not loud, not reckless, just steady, certain. You whisper something so low it dissolves before becoming words, but I feel it in the way you hold me, in the way your lips hover near mine, in the way you don't let go. Breathing in your unspoken, I close the distance, are slow. And when our lips meet, it's not a collision, it's recognition. The night wraps around us, heavy and tender, and in that quiet exchange of breath and warmth, everything you never said becomes clear. There's a quiet tension hovering in the air tonight, not heavy, just suspended. You're sitting close, closer than before, but still careful, still holding something back. The lamp casts a low amber glow, tracing the outline of your mouth, soft, uncertain. I can feel the gravity pulling us inward, slow. smaller than a breath, wider than fear, deeper than silence. You look at me and I see it, the fragile moment right before surrender. Your hand rests lightly against my chest, fingers spread, feeling the rhythm. I place mine at your waist, not pulling, just steadying. The space between your lips and mine is trembling like a held note waiting to resolve. Your breath brushes my cheek, warm, measured, careful. You tilt your head slightly, eyes half closed, not asleep, just feeling. The world outside dissolves into distant motion, headlights passing, unimportant. In here, everything slows. The space between your lips and mine becomes the center of the room, the quiet pulse of everything unsaid. I lean in but stop, a fraction away, close enough to feel the warmth of your mouth without touching. Your fingers tighten gently against my shirt, as if anchoring yourself. There's a softness in restraint, a sweetness in waiting. The space between your lips and mine holds more heat than fire ever could. You whisper my name, barely there, and the sound lingers against my skin. I answer by brushing my nose lightly against yours, a breath shared, a heartbeat closer. Your hand slides up to my neck, slow, intentional, not pulling, just guiding the space between your lips and mine. Narrows again, a quiet surrender in motion. I trace the curve of your lower lip with my thumb. Gentle, you exhale, eyes closing fully now. The tension thickens but never rushes. We stay there hovering, suspended in warmth. The space between your lips and mine feels endless, even as it disappears. And when we finally close it, it's not a collision, it's a soft landing. Your lips move against mine, slow, exploring, no urgency, no hunger, just warmth unfolding like silk in the dark. My hands rest at your back, holding you closer without pressure. You lean into me as if this was always the direction. The kiss deepens gradually, breath mingling, pulse aligning. The space between your lips and mine is gone now, but its memory lingers in every slow movement and every quiet touch. You pull back slightly, forehead resting against mine, both of us breathing heavier but calmer. There's a glow in your eyes, not bright, just steady. I brush my lips across yours again, soft lingering, because even when the space closes, we don't rush. We stay wrapped in warmth and shared breath in that fragile, beautiful stillness where the distance once lived and where desire breathing heavier but calmer. There's a glow in your eyes, not bright, just steady. I brush my lips across yours again, soft, lingering, because even when the space closes, we don't rush. We stay wrapped in warmth and shared growth in that fragile, beautiful stillness, where the distance once lived and where desire learned how to be patient. The space between your lips and mine, slow, the space between your lips and mine is gone. Night feels closer than usual, pressed against the windows, listening. The room is dim, only the faint spill of moonlight trace our silver along your shoulders. You're standing in front of me, quiet, not fragile, just open. There's something unspoken, resting in the space between us, waiting to be touched, not heard. A secret written on bare skin, doesn't use ink, it uses warmth, it uses breath. A step close is slow enough to feel the shift in your pose. Your eyes don't leave mine, but the days soften, like you've already decided. My fingers hover near the curve of your collarbone, not touching yet, just reading the air. The secret written on bare skin begins with straight, with pauses, with almost. I let my knuckles graze you, fed light, drawing an invisible line from shoulder to wrist. Your breath deepens, not loud but undeniable. You tilt your head slightly, exposing more, trusting more. The room grows warmer, though nothing has changed except the distance. A secret written on their skin, lives in slow movements and fingertips that know how to listen. I trace the outline of your arm downward, careful, like I'm afraid to blur the words. Your hands find my waist, resting there steady, not pulling, just holding. The moonlight shifts, casting shadows that make your skin look like quiet marble. My lips brush the edge of your shoulder, lingering soft, and I feel the message deepen. A secret written on their skin is not meant for daylight, it belongs to shadows, to whispers. You step closer until there's nowhere left between us. Your chest against mine, warm, certain. My hands move slowly, mapping your baggage of tracing letters only we understand. You close your eyes, letting the silence speak. sensation, a soft tremor under my touch, a steady heat rising beneath yours, a secret written on bare skin, doesn't need explanation. It unfolds, my fingertips follow the line of your spine, slow arcs measured. You exhale against my ear, warm, close, the sound alone feels intimate. The bed behind you is only background. What matters is this closeness, this slow revelation. A secret written on bare skin is fragile but powerful. You guide my hands without speaking, placing them where you want warmth to linger. I respond with the same care, the same patience. Our movements are unhurried, intentional, like writing something that must last. The outside world feels distant, muted, and here everything is amplified. Your heartbeat, your breath, the subtle tremble in your touch. I press my forehead to yours, both of us breathing deeper now. My lips find yours, soft, unrushed. A kiss carries the secret further, etching it deeper into memory. A secret written on her skin doesn't fade quickly. It lingers in warmth and quiet, in the way your hands refuse to let go. And when we finally pause, resting in shared breath, the message remains not physical, not spoken, but felt in every inch of illuminated skin, where the night itself has learned how to read us. The velvet curtains barely breathing, midnight resting on their edges. City lights blur into something softer, like the world agreed to forget us. You're lying there, half turned toward the quiet, half closed eyes, holding questions you never say out loud. The room is dim in a tender way, shadows pulling along your collarbone. Every silence feels intentional, like it's waiting to be touched. I move closer, not fast, not certain, just slow enough to feel the air change. Velvet curtains, half closed eyes, the night folding around us in layers of dark blue. Your fingers tracing half closed eyes, every heartbeat slower than it was a minute ago. The air tastes like possibility, like rain that never quite falls, like a secret pressed against the back of my throat. Your shoulder brushes mine, accidental maybe, but the spark lingers, refusing to fade. We don't rush the moment, we let it stretch, thin as silk, strong as gravity. Outside the world keeps moving, but in here time is kneeling, waiting for permission. Your half-closed eyes, not sleeping, not dreaming, just watching me decide. My hand rests near yours, close enough to promise, far enough to ache in that quiet, unbearable way. Velvet curtains hold the dark like they're protecting something fragile, something beginning without knowing its own name. You lean closer, breath warm and careful, as if desire were glass and we're afraid to break it. There's a tenderness in restraint, a fire in almost, a universe inside what we don't do yet. Velvet curtains, half-closed eyes, the night listening as our pulse aligns. Your forehead against mine, not claiming, not asking, just staying. And in that suspended hour, fantasy doesn't shout, it whispers, slow and deliberate. This is where it starts, not with fire, but with warmth spreading quietly under skin. Velvet curtains barely moving, half-closed eyes learning mine, the dark wrapping around us, like it's always known our shape. We don't need the world tonight, we don't need promises, only this soft collision of breath and almost touch. Stay like this, where silence speaks, where closeness feels sacred, where fantasy finally has a pulse. And the curtains keep guarding the dark, while our shadows begin to move as one. The lamp is low, breathing amber into the room, like it's afraid to disturb what's unfolding. You're sitting at the edge of the bed, fingers resting against your knee, eyes lowered but not distant. There's a quiet tonight, thicker than usual, not empty, just waiting. I don't speak, you don't either, but something moves between us, soft as fabric slipping through hands. Silk between the silence, threading through our breaths, pulling us closer without a single word. Your hair falls over your shoulder like it's hiding in something like a nose. How fragile this moment is. I step forward slow enough to feel the floor beneath me, to hear your inhale change. beside you, close enough to sense your warmth, far enough to let the tension breathe. Our shoulders almost touch, and that almost feels like a universe. Silk between the silence, stitching our shadows together, soft as a promise not yet spoken. The night presses softly against the window, city lights blinking in the distance like they're watching, but from far away. Everything slows, even my thoughts, even my pulse. You lean back, palms flat against the mattress, neck exposed to the dim light. There's something cinematic about you, not dramatic, just quietly magnetic. I let my hand hover near yours, close enough to feel the heat radiating. But I wait because the waiting is part of it. Silk between the silence, sliding over hesitation, turning restraint into something luminous. Your fingers graze mine, accident or intention. I don't ask, the touch is feather light, but it echoes deep under my skin. You exhale slow like you've been holding it, and the room seems to tilt toward us. Silk between the silence, wrapping around our wrists, binding us gently without knots. I trace the outline of your hand, not fully touching, just mapping the air above it. Your eyes close halfway as if surrendering to something internal. There's no rush here, no urgency to prove anything, only the slow bloom of wanting. Your forehead rests against my shoulder, and the contact is quiet but absolute. I feel your heartbeat, not with my ear, but somewhere deeper, somewhere softer. Silk between the silence, weaving through our breathing, through the dark, through the space we used to keep. You whisper something, not words, just sound, low and close, and I answer with a touch, finally certain. My hand slides over yours, slow, intentional, like writing a letter across skin. The world outside dissolves into distant murmurs, unimportant in this room. We are careful, we are deliberate, we are undone in slow motion. Silk between the silence isn't fragile, it's patient, it holds us suspended between almost and already. You look at me like I'm something newly discovered, like the dark has revealed a different version of me, and maybe it has. Your hand rises, resting light against my chest, feeling the rhythm you help create. Silk between the silence, now warmer, now closer, now real. We don't need loud confessions or sudden fire, only this. The slow unraveling, this tender gravity, this quiet heat. The lamp flickers once, then steadies, and we stay there, wrapped in the hush, wrapped in each other's presence. Where silk moves gently between the silence and never lets it feel empty again. The light lights have been off for a while, but the room isn't empty, it's breathing. Low and steady, curtains barely shifting, with the night air carrying distant echoes of a world we left outside. You're somewhere near, I can feel it, not by sight, but by the way the silence tightens. There's a space between us, small, intentional, alive. Fingertips in the dark, searching without looking, learning without speaking, finding without force. I move my hands slowly through the quiet, through the invisible current that hums between skin. Your breath changes first, a subtle shift, like a door opening inside your chest. I don't rush, I let the distance narrow, millimeter by millimeter, until the air feels electric. Fingertips in the dark, almost touching, almost trembling, almost enough. Your hand rises, mirroring mine, unseen but understood. And when our fingers finally meet, it isn't dramatic, it's soft, a feather-like contact that carries weight deeper than gravity. Trace the outline of my knuckles, slow, curious as if memorizing a language. The dark hides our expressions, but not our reactions. Every small movement echoes through me like a quiet confession. Fingertips in the dark, mapping fragile territory, turning hesitation into warmth. I slide my thumb across your palm, careful, listening to your breath. You exhale slowly and then closer, not enough to close the space, just enough to blur it. The room feels smaller now, thicker, wrapped in a velvet hush. Fingertips in the dark are braver than we are. They speak first, they stay. Your fingers drift up my wrist, pausing at the pulse, and I feel seen without being watched. There's something sacred about this kind of closeness. No urgency, no spectacle, just skin meeting skin in quiet discovery. You shift beside me, fabric brushing softly, a whisper of movement. I follow the curve of your hand up your arm, slow measure, like tracing a constellation only we can feel. Fingertips in the dark, learning the rhythm of breath against breath, of warmth against warmth. The world outside fades into distant static, unimportant, unfelt. Your forehead finds my shoulder and the contact is simple but absolute. I rest my hand at your waist, not claiming, just holding. The dark wraps around us like it's protecting something tender. Fingertips in the dark, don't need a light, they trust, they know. You tilt your face toward mine, close enough that our breaths mingle. There's a pause, a suspended second, where everything could change, but we stay in the slowness. We honor the restraint. Your fingers weave gently through mine, and the touch deepens without pressure. The quiet grows warmer, thicker, filled with unspoken longing. Fingertips in the dark become anchors, keeping us here in this fragile moment. I brush a strand of hair from your face, even though I can barely see it. I know where it falls, you smile softly, I feel it before I hear it. Our bodies align gradually, like two shadows merging. No rush, no sudden fire, only this steady heat building beneath the surface. Fingertips in the dark are enough to spark, enough to steady, enough to stay. And as the night stretches on, we remain there, braids intertwined, hands still connected, letting the dark hold us, letting our fingertips say everything we don't need to speak. The door closes softly, not with finality, but with intention. And suddenly everything outside feels fictional. Street lights fade, voices disappear, even time seems unsure of its own direction. You're standing near the edge of the bed, one hand resting against the wall, like you need something solid before you let go. The air is dim, thick with quiet, wrapped in the kind of darkness that feels protective. When the room forgets the world, it remembers us. The way you look at me, as if the night has carved a softer version of my name into your mouth. You step closer, slow, uncertain in the most beautiful way. Your shoulder brushes mine, and the contact feels louder than any sound outside. When the room forgets the world, we don't have to pretend, we don't have to explain, we just breathe. I reach for your hand, not to pull, just to hold. Your fingers curl around mine, warm, certain, and something inside me begins to quiet. The city keeps moving somewhere beyond these walls, but here the air is slower. You lean your forehead against my chest, and I feel your breath sync with mine. When the room forgets the world, it forgets fear too. Your hands slide up my arms, careful, like you're learning the shape of trust. I let my palms rest at your waist, feeling the subtle rise and fall of every inhale. No urgency, no noise, only this steady gravity pulling us inward. The lamp in the corner glows faintly, casting shadows that blend into one shape. You tilt your face upward, eyes half closed, searching, and I meet you there, not with hunger but with warmth. When the room forgets the world, desire doesn't rush, it settles like moonlight on bare skin, soft, unavoidable. Your fingers trace the line of my collarbone, leaving invisible paths that burn gently. I respond by brushing my lips against your temple. You exhale slowly, as if releasing something you've been holding all day. The bed behind us feels like an invitation, not to fall but to stay. We move together, unfolding into the quiet. Fabric rustles softly as we sit, knees brushing. When the room forgets the world, even silence feels full. You lie back slowly, eyes watching me, not demanding, just open. I follow, hovering above you, close enough to feel your warmth. Our breaths mingle, creating a rhythm that feels older than language. Your hands rest at the back of my neck, holding gently, and I lower my yourself until our foreheads meet again. When the room forgets the world, there is no audience, no performance, only skin, only breath, only closeness. I trace the curve of your side, slow arcs measured. You respond by pulling me nearer until there is no space left. The dark holds us like a secret. Outside the world continues, but no longer reaches us, because here in this dim, quiet sanctuary, we are unguarded, we are slower, we are real. When the room forgets the world, we remember how to feel. And in a soft forgetting, wrapped in shared warmth, listening to each other breathe, we become everything that the outside could never understand. The night feels closer than usual, pressed against the windows, listening. The room is dim, only the faint spill of moonlight tracing silver along your shoulders. You're standing in front of me, quiet, not fragile, just open. There's something unspoken, resting in the space between us, waiting to be touched, not heard. A secret written on bare skin. Doesn't use ink, it uses warmth, it uses breath. I step closer, slow enough to feel the shift in your pulse. Your eyes don't leave mine, but they soften, like you've already decided. My fingers hover near the curve of your collarbone, not touching yet, just reading the air. But secret written on bare skin begins with restraint, with pauses, with almost. I let my knuckles graze your feather light, drawing an invisible line from shoulder to wrist. Your breath deepens, not loud but undeniable. You tilt your head slightly, exposing more, trusting more. The room grows warmer, though nothing has changed except the distance. A secret written on bare skin lives in slow movements and fingertips that know how to listen. I trace the outline of your arm downward, careful, like I'm afraid to blur the words. Your hands find my waist, resting there, steady, not pulling, just holding. The moonlight shifts, casting shadows that make your skin look like quiet marble. My lips brush the edge of your shoulder, lingering soft, and I feel the message deepen. A secret grows clearer, not in words but in sensation. A soft tremor under my touch, a steady heat rising beneath yours. A secret on bare skin doesn't need explanation, it unfolds. My fingertips follow the line of your spine, slow arcs measured. You exhale against my ear, warm close, the sound alone feels intimate. The bed behind you is only background, what matters is this closeness. is fragile but powerful. You guide my hands without speaking, placing them where you want to linger. I respond with the same care, the same patience. Our movements are unhurried, intentional, like writing something that must last. The outside world feels distant, you didn't hear. Everything is amplified, your heartbeat, your breath, the subtle tremble in your touch. I press my forehead to yours, both of us breathing deeper now. My lips find yours, soft, unrushed. The kiss carries the secret further, etching it deeper into memory. A secret written on bare skin doesn't fade quickly. It lingers in warmth and quiet, in the way your hands refuse to let go. And when we finally pause, resting in shared breath, the message remains, not visible, not spoken, but felt in every inch of illuminated skin, where the night itself has learned how to read us. The curtains are half open, letting the night lean in, silver light stretching across the sheets. You're lying beside me, quiet, breathing slow, as if you've melted into the dark. Moonlight spills over us, soft as water, tracing the outline of your shoulder, like it's memorizing you. I watch the glow slide down your skin, across your collarbone, down to where my hand waits. There's something sacred about this hour, when the world forgets to be loud. Moonlight spilling over us makes everything honest. I'm harsh edges, no hidden corners. Your fingers drift across my chest, not searching, just resting. The touch is gentle, but it lingers like a promise that doesn't need words. I shift closer, slowly, feeling the warmth of you against my side. The room feels suspended, as if time has turned into something fragile. Moonlight spilling over us, turn silence into music, low, steady, intimate. You tilt your face toward mine, eyes half closed, not asleep, just present. I brush my lips across your temple, then your cheek, soft. Your breath deepens in response, like a quiet wave rolling inward. The light catches the curve of your mouth, making it glow, almost unreal. Moonlight spilling over us, feels like a secret shared only with the dark. Your hand slides to the back of my neck, holding me closer. Without urgency, I lower my forehead to yours, our noses brushing lightly, breaths mingling and silver and warmth in this fragile hour. Moonlight spilling over us will fade by morning, but the memory, the glow, the slow tenderness will remain etched softly into skin, into pulse, into the quiet place where night still belongs to softly into skin, into pulse, into the quiet glaze where night still belongs to us. Still belongs to us. The curtains are half open. The curtains are half open. Ooh, the curtains are half open. The curtains over us. The curtains. The curtains. Curtains. Ooh. Lights are lower than before. Not up, just undecided. Like the room is giving us permission to stay undefined. Your outline moves closer, losing details, gaining weight. I don't need to see you clearly to feel everything you create. My fingers hesitate in the space between your breath and mine, as if the dark itself is something to learn over time. Fingers learn in the dark, memorizing shape, not sight. Every inch discovered slowly, like a secret kept by night. I don't rush the unknown, This isn't touching yet. His fingers learn in the dark. Your voice comes softer now, almost swallowed by air. Words falling unfinished, but I still catch them there. They land on my shoulders, stay longer than they should. Like you're testing the quiet to see if it's good. I trace the edge of your sleeve, not your skin, not yet. Letting the tension build with patience and wanting met. The dark teaches gently what light will rush through. How to listen with my hands, how to move without view. Fingers learn in the dark, following heat, following sound. The way your body answers without making a pound. Every pause feels intentional, every breath leaves a mark. I'm not lost in this moment, I'm learning the dark. Somewhere the city keeps going, cars, signals, open eyes. But in here the world is narrowed to where your shadow lies. I could close my eyes forever and still know where you are. By the pool, by the warmth, by the way you don't pull far. Your wrist under my thumb beats honest, slow, telling me things your mouth won't show. And I stay right there, counting time by your pulse, letting desire stretch instead of convulse. Fingers learn in the dark, the curve of doubt, the line of trust. How closeness feels different when it's quiet, when it's just two people not naming what's growing this slow. Letting it become real by letting it grow. I finally touch your skin and nothing breaks. No thunder, no rush, just the softest quake. Like the room nods gently, like it saw this coming. Like the dark itself has been patiently humming. So I move with care, as if touch is a language I'm still learning to speak without damage. Every contact a question, you answer by staying, by breathing closer, by not pulling away. Fingers learn in the dark, still curious, still calm. This isn't about taking, it's about where we land when sight steps aside and feeling takes its part. This slow, quiet devotion to learn in the dark. The clock is still on the wall, but it stopped asking questions. Minutes slipping quietly out of their own direction. The room feels wider somehow, or maybe we've narrowed in to this one shared moment when nothing else gets in. Your jacket lies on the floor, like a decision already made. But your eyes are careful, like you're still halfway. Not of me, but of what happens when time loosens its hold. When the room forgot time, everything softened its grip. Seconds stretch into breathing, every movement learned how to drift. No before, no after, just this slow design. Two bodies adjusting to the absence of time. We speak less and less, not because there's nothing left, but because language feels loud next to the way we connect. Your hand rests on your thigh, mine stays where it is. The patience between door settles, even the house seems to know this moment needs gentle rules. I notice the way you blink, slower than before, as if your body's learning a different rhythm. When the room forgot time, your breath became the guide. I followed it quietly, let it set the tide. Inhale, exhale, a private metronome, teaching my heartbeat how to come home. I lean back against the headboard, you mirror me without planning. Two shapes finding comfort in unspoken understanding. Your knee angles toward mine, not touching but aligned, and something ancient in me finally unwinds. I think about reaching out, but the thought dissolves into simply staying. The stillness feels resolved, like movement would rush what's meant to unfold, like waiting is part of what makes it whole. When the room forgot time, desire learned to sit without asking for proof, without forcing its fit. It just existed, warm, aware, moving through the air like shared breath. Eventually our fingers meet, soft, unannounced. No spark, no drama, just presence found. You don't tighten your grip, you don't pull away, and in that neutrality something profound stays. The outside world returns slowly, as if knocking from far, but we don't answer yet. We're still where we are, inside this pause, this delicate frame where nothing is measured and nothing needs a name. When the room forgot time, I understood the cost of always chasing moments until their meaning is lost. Sometimes the deepest connection isn't marked or defined, it's simply what happens when the room forgets time. It happens without a signal, no sound, no cue. Just a shared stillness that wasn't there before, like the room collectively decided to wait. Your face is close enough now that I notice details, the way your eyes soften right before you stop moving, how your breath changes when mine does. We don't lean in yet, we hover, suspend between intention and restraint, and that pause feels heavier than motion. A pause before we lean in, where everything aligns, hands halfway certain, hearts not crossing lines. This is the moment no one talks about, the space where desire decides out loud. It's allowed, your lips part slightly, not asking, not offering, just existing in possibility. And I swear time narrows to the distance between our mouths, nothing else survives the reduction. I feel my body prepare, then stop, like it's learning that waiting can be active, that stillness can carry as much meaning as touch. A pause before we lean in, thick with unspent heat, every breath shared carefully so it doesn't break the beat. We're not afraid, we're aware, and that awareness changes everything. I notice your hand lift, then settle back down, not rejection, just calibration, like your chest significant, like punctuation marking the sentence we haven't finished writing. A pause before we lean in is where honesty lives, before promises form, before consequence gives. This is the last quiet place before closeness becomes real, before fantasy learns how it feels. My breath catches, not because I'm unsure, but because certainty can be overwhelming too. I want this slow, I want this precise, I want the memory to feel like intention. Your forehead rests against mine, no kiss, no rush, just contact without consumption, and it feels impossibly intimate, like we skip steps and arrive somewhere deeper. A pause before we lean in extends longer than expected, and neither of us interrupts it. We let the tension mature instead of forcing release, letting desire prove it can stay gentle. When we finally move, it's barely movement at all, more like permission than action. And even then, part of me stays right here in this pause, where everything was possible. It wasn't what you did that stayed with me. It was what you chose not to do. A moment of quietly not wanting to build, just closeness becoming real, before either of us named it. My hand moved on instinct, not brave, not certain, and I waited right there for your answer. The way you didn't pull away, somewhat untouched ever could. No sudden movement, no hesitation, misunderstood. Just a mess that held exactly where we were, like you decided this was worth staying for. Your body stayed soft, not frozen, not tense. A permission given through absence of defense. I felt the trust settle before desire did, and that order changed everything. The room didn't react, I'm shifting by the sun, but something internal found new ground. My breath sold as yours matched it, two systems adjusting without instruction. The way you didn't pull away created space to feel without rushing into outcome, without forcing what's real. Your eyes stood on mine, not asking for more, just confirming this wasn't a mistake. I noticed my own restraint, restraint. How careful I became, as if your stance deserve violence. I didn't wanna take what was being offered. I wanted, I needed at the same level. Your fingers flexed once, then relaxed. A tiny detail that felt in honest, like you were checking your soul and choosing presence over protection. The way you didn't pull away echoed in my chest, a quiet reassurance that closeness could last, like here, without proving itself, without becoming performance. Time passed gently, like it was on our side. Minutes folding softly, one into another. No rush to escalate, no fear retreat. Just two people existing in proximity. Eventually we shifted it, 'cause bodies need to move, but the meaning stayed anchored in that earlier truth that sometimes intimacy isn't in the advance, but in the moment nothing stops it. The way you didn't pull away will outlast the night. God has a memory of touch, but of excite. That connection can be quiet, can be almost invisible, yet still feel undeniably we stop without agreeing to, like our bodies reach the same conclusion at the same second. Movements phase and something sharper takes its place. Your hand is close to mine, close enough to finish the thought, but neither of us does. We stay suspended, as if stillness is the point. Holding still to feel more leaden sensation rise on its own. Every nerve waking quietly. Now the motion is gone. This isn't restraint born from fear. Its attention is choosing to listen longer. I notice the weight of your presence, how it fills the room without pressing against it. Your breath slows and mine follows, like it's been waiting for permission to settle. Holding still to feel more changes the scale of everything. A glance feels heavier, a breath feels deliberate. Even time seems unsure of how to behave when nothing is chasing it. My shoulder aches slightly from not adjusting, and I welcome it, a reminder that I'm here, fully aware, not rushing toward relief. Swirl softly, a sound that shouldn't matter, but does in the quiet we've built. It lands like a confession you weren't planning to make. Holding still to feel mornings, noticing what usually gets skipped. The warmth collecting between us, the hum under your silence. The way desire doesn't disappear when ignored, it deepens. I feel the urge to move, rise and fall inside me like a tide, and I let it pass, not denying it, just allowing it to exist without action. Your stillness, pulling still to feel more, is an agreement without words of mutual patience that feels strangely intimate, like we trust each other not to rush the ending of something still forming. When we eventually shift, it's subtle, inevitable, and almost disappointing, because part of me wanted to remain in that held breath a little longer. But I know the stillness did its work. It taught our bodies how deep sensation can go when it's given time, space and silence. Holding still to feel more isn't about denial, it's about depth, and tonight depth feels like everything.